Uruguay, an agri-exporting country by nature, possesses a booming wool textile industrial sector with research capabilities and technological progress that have led the country to a position among the principal wool tops exporters of the world. The Technological Laboratory of Uruguay, LATU, through its wool laboratory, disposes all the necessary resources that enable them to offer to the worsted and woolen industries of the region an impartial and independent laboratory dedicated to provide services with the precision and quality internationally required at competitive prices. In 1998, thanks to the accreditation issued by UCAS, United Kingdom Accreditation Service, of the compliance with the requirements of ISO 17025, the Wool Laboratory of LATU achieves its target of being an IWTO, International Wool Textile Organization, licensed laboratory number 12, the first one to be licensed in all the Americas, and one of the few belonging to that select group authorized to issue IWTO certificates for greasy wool, scoured wool, and wool tops. The IWTO is a worldwide organization created to defend the interests of the wool industry as a whole, from wool growers to wool textile traders, processors, spinners, weavers, manufacturers, and retailers of its member countries. The Wool Laboratory of LATU has a staff of inspectors trained for the inspection and sampling tasks following the IWTO regulations for greasy wool, scoured wool, and wool tops at farms, warehouses, or online on the top mills. Once the samples arrive to our laboratory, they begin the testing process according to the processing state of the wool. In the case of wool tops, the calculated invoiced mass of the lot is determined following the IWTO test method 34. That includes the drying of the samples on specially designed dryers. The samples to be used on the determination of the mean fiber diameter and mean fiber length will be previously conditioned to a relative humidity of 65% and a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. These conditions are strictly and continuously controlled and monitored through a dedicated software. The mean fiber diameter could be determined following the test method IWTO 6 using the airflow apparatus. Then the specimen will be hand-carded, weighed, and tested in the above-cited apparatus. This determination could also be done following the test method IWTO 12 using the laser scan. In that case, the specimen will be obtained through the use of the monocore apparatus of the guillotine, obtaining in this way snippets of the required length for the determination. Then the snippets will be introduced on the laser scan, which along with the mean fiber diameter produces its distribution parameters too. The determination of the fiber length and its distribution parameters is done applying the test method IWTO 17. The test specimens are obtained from the twisted samples and prepared with an automatic grip, fibroliner. The specimen so formed is then transferred to the almeter, where it is determined the fiber length and its distribution parameters. The samples are assayed following the IWTO test method 19 to determine the yields of the lot, IWTO scour yield, Schlumberger dry, etc., and the IWTO test method 28 for the determination of the mean fiber diameter. The process begins with a mixing of the laboratory sample. Once the samples have been homogenized, at least 3 subsamples are scoured, and thence the proportion of the vegetable matter as the residual fatty matter are determined. These are deducted from the dry weight of the subsamples to determine the estimated commercial yields of the lot. After completing the tests on representative samples of a lot, the results are processed by computer software in accordance with the calculations set forth in the IWTO test methods and regulations, ending the instance with the issuance of the corresponding IWTO certificate. Being the cited certificates issued by our independent and impartial laboratory, framed with a strict quality control system that includes internal and external audits by UCAS, successful participation in the international recognized Interwool Labs and ILRT interlaboratory tests, and as a fundamental warranty licensed by the IWTO, it provides total security for both parties involved in the trade. Due to this international recognition, LATU and the then SACI of the People's Republic of China signed in 1993 an agreement, ratified in 1995 and again in 1998, now with AQSIQ. That remains of this day the fundamental basis for the wool trade between both countries.